Tell me a little bit about your experience before you joined Fast Track. What was your DeFi experience like?
So I guess my DeFi journey has all happened just in 2025. So I started to get interested back it was right around Canada Family Day, so February. I started to read about XRP and these things. I knew what I'd heard of Bitcoin, I'd heard of Ethereum, but all this was very mysterious to me. Honestly, I had that attitude at the very beginning of my journey that I was too old and this was technology that I wasn't going to learn or understand, too scary. And I regret it now, but I got involved, started to read some stuff, opened a wallet, bought some XRP, just like $100, and really had no idea what I was doing and just went to my go-to research tool of YouTube and started bouncing around watching videos. And I stumbled on some videos of Lucas talking about crypto stuff. I was really drawn to Lucas's message and history. I have a similar experience growing up, not the same, but similar. And I'm also in oil and gas, lived in Canada, just a lot of similarities. He seemed like a really genuine guy. Started to watch his videos and learning about DeFi is what caught my attention. I traditionally have always been in index funds and things that generate dividend income. So that had been where my investing was. And it really mirrored what I already understood in TradFi. I was really excited by some of the numbers and the return that you can generate in DeFi. I started watching his videos, got super interested in what was going on there, started to check out the UIG's page. I did all of the free content right away. I was a little hesitant to join the UIG in the beginning, just nervous about scams and getting duped by something that doesn't seem to be what it is. So I did finally join the UIG just before summer as a regular member, and I consumed the course. I went through everything quite fast. I think I did the whole thing in a month. I love learning new stuff. I had some time on my hands in the summer. I wasn't super busy. So a lot of watching videos, understanding, starting to really understand what was out there, like the layer twos under the layer one, what Bitcoin really was. I read the Satoshi white paper for the first time. I started to read some other amazing books, like the Bitcoin Standard. That one I tell everybody about. Now reading Lucas's book, and I really like it. It's fantastic. I just immersed myself in the world. You guys were doing the meetup, which I think was the second meetup the UIG had done. I live just outside of Calgary, so Kelowna is very close to me. I ended up jumping in, decided to join the meetup. I started messaging the UIG team, and I was like, I'm really interested in doing this, but my experience level is super low. I was a little nervous about getting in there and being like out of my league and just being a burden to people, and I didn't know very much. And everyone was in the community at the UIG has been so good. They were so friendly, and everyone was like, you're going to love it. You should come. I ended up getting convinced to come as a VIP. So I did the full 3 day, the whole thing. And I signed up for Fast Track after that. I spent 3 days with all these amazing people that were like just lived and breathed crypto. Like it was so immersive. Met a bunch of the people from the UIG. They really became real for me. I met them in person, like Colin, Gordon, Angie was there. I know you weren't there yet, but everybody else was at the session. So I got to meet them, really establish some trust, and came home from that and was like, yeah, I want to do the fast track. I really want to dive in. I really have become convinced on the future of personal wealth and sovereign control of your money, and this idea of getting away from fiat currency and what's going on in the world today. I'm convinced by the idea behind Bitcoin that this is probably the right, I'm not in all the way like some people, but I'm pretty convinced it's the right thing to do. And so then I joined the fast track, and I've been in fast track for, I don't know, 6 weeks, maybe 2 months. And I'm really enjoying that. So yeah, that's how I got here.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that background. I didn't know any of that.
It's a
Live
long story.
event. But your story resonates for a lot of reasons. I just think it's so funny too, because everyone thinks that if there's a crypto program, that it's automatically a scam. My experience was very similar watching the YouTube, and I was like, wow, Lucas seems like a real guy. He seems like he cares, and shared his story about how he transformed his life. Very similar to you. I just started tapping in, and it felt right. It felt authentic. I'm so glad that you felt that way, and also just started little by little getting connected with these guys, and here you are on the other side of it in fast track. And so I'd love to know, after being in fast track for this amount of time, what does your DeFi portfolio look like today?
Right. As of today, I've increased the value of my portfolio substantially from $100 over the year. I had access to some assets that I moved into crypto. I'm pretty happy. I moved in phases. At first, I was buying and holding. I got into Bitcoin and then a whole bunch of Ethereum. Then I started to learn about Sol, Sui, added those to my portfolio, XRP. Through the meetup, actually, Gordon did a whole session on Tau. And I was like, well, this is amazing. And AI is something that's growing just as fast as cryptocurrency these days. So I bought into Tau, expanded my holdings quite a bit. I started to dabble into liquidity pools. So Ethereum, and mostly I've played around with two volatile assets. I'll be honest, at my level of day-to-day monitoring, I wasn't super interested in getting into the two volatile assets. I did some BTC ETH pools, but I didn't want to get too crazy because it's so much more complex having both assets moving around. So I tend to stick with crypto or like a ETH or BTC and a USDC, like a stable coin. Just that way one of them stays still for me. I've got 4 or 5 LPs right now open. I haven't gotten into doing the Talons. Those are a bit complicated for me with the software. I built that up, learned about that, and then I stepped back and developed my wallet structure a lot. That became a big thing on my radar. And that was a huge part of being a part of the UIG and the fast track, was understanding the importance of security. It's really funny because I was nervous about joining the UIG for getting scammed. Then I was just running around with the hot wallet and I was like, this is crazy. So I got a ledger, got my security all set up, got a notebook with all my phrases. I actually put a safe in my house. I got everything locked down. And then I started to learn about using leverage. So setting up a borrow position, an LP, those borrowed assets. Honestly, it's a funny story because when things were skyrocketing back in September, October, I was all over the leverage. I was getting leverage really good, had all this stuff going on. Things got pretty complex. And then the market pulled back and I learned nothing terrible happened. I didn't get liquidated or anything, but I learned the hard way what the opposite side of using leverage is. And
Yeah.
I had my LPs all dropped out of range. The things are sitting now because I've got borrowed assets that are in LPs that are in range that I don't want to close because I don't want to take on the impermanent loss. It definitely was a quick education because we had that big event where everything dropped. Luckily, I think I wrote this in one of our UIG meetings or one of our past track meetings. I would have probably been flushed out. Like in what's happened in the last 3 months without having the UIG there and that community to give me the reassurance that this is normal and we're all going through it, and this constant message of just stay calm, keep coming to the chat, stay calm, everything's okay. I think I probably would have got scared away and exited at the worst possible time. And now that we've been in this, it's only been 4 weeks since we've come down and we're starting to see this reversal, hopefully again. It's been amazing. Like I'm so much more comfortable. Like it actually startles me how quickly the community has helped me get comfortable with what's going on. And being in fast track, you get so much more. I see the chat from the regular UIG members, and a lot of people are really nervous. When you get in the fast track and you're in there with the guys who do the group sessions, you get so much experience. Lots of the guys are just like, oh yeah, we see this all the time. And Gordon's so good at zooming out and being like, quit looking at the last 3 days and look at the last 3 months. That's just been huge. I could talk forever about the community. The mindset community is another thing. I know that it's not exclusive to fast track, but all the mindset stuff that Lucas does is just a huge plus. It's really important to me. Over this 2025 year, I've gone through a lot of positive changes in my life. I've really moved my life forward in a much better direction. And the timing of that with doing the code program with Lucas and sitting in the mindset groups and listening to the guys, we talk so much more about goal setting and the way that you approach life. That's such an extra add on that I don't think it's even featured that much. I think it's huge. I think it's really good. That's
Oh man,
a big bonus.
I'm so glad that you are receiving so much value in the community and in the mindset stuff. There's going to be a lot more of that type of content coming out where not pivoting away from the investor business that we've built here, but we're just expanding our offering to include more of that mindset supportive content. If we can master this right here, then we can master whatever we're doing on the computer much more effectively. I'm really happy to hear that had a huge impact on you. And I think that's something that all of the members of our team really care about. My own life, it's certainly transformed. I know it's transformed Lucas and Colin's life and Gordon and Angie. And I just think all of that stuff contributes to being a wise investor and being a successful, happy person. Really happy to hear that has such a big impact on you. I know you just shared a lot about what was valuable, but what do you think is the biggest thing that you've learned from Fast Tracked?
So many things. My technical analysis capabilities have increased dramatically. I can read heat maps now. I understand what you do with them, reading trading view charts, even the capability of understanding like what's going on with macro events. We talk a lot about what's happening in the world and how it's impacting crypto. And it's something that Gordon and Colin are both really good at. And Angie is especially, honestly, really good at explaining to you how when the government's whatever information is coming out or they're meeting about this, how the markets react, how they've reacted historically, what to expect. So I know, think I was reading it in Lucas's book, talking about how it becomes second nature, that you trust your instincts when you're reading the news and you read the news cycle differently. And you're like, oh, this is going to impact my weekend. And like even learning about like weekend traps and how the cycle change, how it just moves through the week. And then I expect what's going on. I remember at the beginning, before we started the video, I was checking everything all the time, like every hour. What are the prices? What's going on with the charts? But it was constant, like hyper engaged, I guess. And now I've really settled into this where I may pop in every day, like first thing in the morning, I have a look. And then I'm really just, is it green or is it red? What's going on this morning? I've really settled in after 9 months, having that support and knowing the one thing you're always hammering into us in the Fast Track is to think long term, right? If you're really committed to not being a trader and you want to be an investor in the space, you need to be thinking like 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 4 years down the road. And when you start to think about it that way, the little 20% change in price all of a sudden, it's still important, but it doesn't shake you quite as hard. You're just a little bit more calm and you're like, yeah, this is normal. Starting to understand how these things are normal in a volatile asset. One thing coming in from TradFi and being used to the index funds and the stock market and trading in there, that's so calm compared to crypto. Like crypto is wild. And that was a huge learning curve and something to get used to. So yeah, learning the chart analysis, all the technical analysis. And I know you guys are doing more of that, which is fantastic. We have a lot of really good chats about different assets, like learning about different types of assets that you might want to get into. The guys will come in and ask, this one right on the tip of my tongue, I'm trying to think of the name of it. Is it Aster was the newer one that everybody was interested in. We talked through that one a bunch. We have a lot of chats about Tau because it's a really complicated kind of new ecosystem. And Gordon's really good at simplifying. He must be in there all the time. Like he knows all about it. And he's really good at teaching us about it. And it's really interesting how quickly people are developing access points to make it easier to do things. You guys do those sessions where we meet with the developers of those new different protocols and stuff. Some of that stuff's going right over my head, but it's amazing to learn what's coming and see all the development. That's really good stuff too. I love learning that stuff. I'm just learning constantly. It's every single day I've got new information that I'm jamming into my chat GPT or whatever about crypto stuff.
Yeah, you're really tapped in, and I could tell that you're using this to the fullest extent that you possibly can. And I know you're a busy guy too with your business, and it sounds like the platform has been easy to digest. There's always something new to learn, and it's presented in a way that clicks for you. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's important that you stay engaged because there's a lot going on all the time. Like when you watch the feeds, the amount of content you guys post every single day, and then all the conversations that are happening. I really try to make sure I'm checking in daily because I can see how, especially as a new person, if you're only logging in once every week or 2 weeks, you wouldn't be able to keep up with everything that's happening. There's so many valuable posts. Like when you guys do the weekly analysis, Marco's analysis, Angie's new one pager of what's going on. Just those things are so important and valuable to just check them. So I definitely have it on my phone, keep all the notifications turned on so I can see what's going on and check in. And it's wild. It's not just North America, it's the whole planet that you guys are dialed in with. I'll hop in the morning when I wake up and I got 32 new messages because Yuri's been messaging from overseas, and there's all the guys in Australia who are on when we're sleeping, and like it's awesome. The community is so cool. That's one of the things I love about it. That's actually one thing that really stood out for me when I started. I found every time I talked to somebody that I was like, oh, I'm looking into crypto, I'm looking into Bitcoin, people would really be like, oh, you're crazy, you're gonna lose all your money, what are you doing? And I learned really quick to keep it to myself, but then you kind of get lonely, like you had no one to bounce your ideas off of. And getting into this community was huge because other people have the same experience. People won't talk to you like that because everybody's into it, right? So having that part of it too is huge because it gives you somewhere to go and just chat with guys that are thinking about the same stuff and looking into the same kind of things as you.
Yes, I would have to agree with you. That's one of the main reasons I love it so much. It can be a lonely space, and that's actually a bullish sign, in my opinion. If most people are not involved in it, they think it's this foreign, risky thing. And you're right, you learn to keep it to yourself. Before I joined the UIG, I have maybe one friend, and he's a really good friend of mine who made it big with Bitcoin and got lucky with another asset as well. And so he was my go-to person in real life who I could talk about these things, but then nobody else really. And so tapping into that community was a way for me to stay connected. You learn more by being in a community, connecting with other people who are into the same thing that you are. We're all experiencing the market ups and downs and the manipulation. Just learning, like something you said really stuck out to me. It becomes second nature to hear a news event and realize, oh, this is going to affect the markets. I better pay attention.
That's where I'm at right now, where it's like, oh, I think this is going to happen. And then I wait to see, oh, am I on the right side of the coin? You know what I mean? Because it can only go up or down. And there's so much going on all the time nowadays to be like, oh, this is going to hurt or this is going to boost things up. But yeah.
Another thing you said that really stuck out was you were able to find equanimity by being a part of this community. The big moves don't bother you so much as a result of being in fast track.
I'm definitely more comfortable without this group. I'd have washed out. I'd have been 7 months in crypto and out of here. And I'd be one of those guys going, don't ever do it. You're going to lose all your money. Now I'm looking forward to 2026. We're probably going to cruise sideways for the rest of this year. 2026 is probably the time that things are going to really improve. So I'm looking forward to that and hoping that there's more opportunity to keep buying in at cheap prices. You start to really flip your mindset when you start to see what Lucas is always talking about. Everything's going on sale. When the prices go down, everything's on sale. It's a better way to look at things because then it's a positive when the prices are coming down for you.
100%. I'll ask you one more question and then we can finish up here. You've been super helpful so far. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely.
The last question is, if someone's on the fence about joining Fast Track, what would you say to them?
Oh, the most obvious thing to me is that if I were to compare it to any sort of a job, anything you're going to take seriously, if you don't know what you're doing at all, are you going to go and take a class? Don't be afraid to spend a little bit of money on some education. Like, I know the fast track can be a bit of an investment, but to get in the UIG, I find it so silly that I was nervous. I think it's $100 a month, right? To join the UIG, $100. And in a month, you can go through the whole course and you will know 100 times more about crypto and technical analysis than you did when you started for $100. That sounds like a sales pitch, but you're crazy enough. If you're going to invest $1,000 in crypto, how are you not willing to spend $100 to get some education and get access to all of this extra? Like this is a basic UIG. You guys still have weekly meetings at that level. You get access to the coaches and all these people who really know what they're doing. I'll vouch for the UIG. It's not a scam. I've been here for 9 months. If you're wondering, it's legit. That's what I would say. Don't be afraid. And spend $100. It's because you guys don't even make you sign up. Like you could do 1 month and be like, nope, and just get out of here. I think it's worth the first $100 for sure. You probably won't regret it, I'd say.
And then how much accelerated growth and learning would you say that you've achieved in comparison by joining Fast Track as opposed to the UIG?
I would say by joining Fast Track, you've got to be committed. If you're going to spend the money and you're not going to make time to get on the calls, you probably wouldn't have the same kind of positive experience that I've had. But I try to get on 75% of those calls. So I'm probably on the computer at least listening to you guys 8 or 10 hours a week. There's so much there. I couldn't put a number. It's so hard for you to know where I'd be without it. I'd probably be washed out. So if you look at it that way, I would have took a huge loss and be filing my taxes to claim a loss without it. It's immeasurable. Like the knowledge, the comfort, the community, I wouldn't still be here. I really wouldn't. I would have got washed out in October for sure. I don't know how to put that in a number. 10 times better.
That's a huge compliment and a huge testament to what the coaching is able to help people do. And just having that community, having that support, I bet a ton of people did get washed out during that event. So that says it all right there. Any last words you'd like to share or any last comments that you think are worth mentioning?
Oh, I'd just say thank you to you guys for the time and the commitment that you have to bring this forward the way that you do. There are so many other programs out there that just sell you chat community, or they just sell you videos. This is so much more than that. It's so much more engagement and involvement. The amount of direct messaging I get with the coaches blows my mind that you guys take the time to message. If you're messaging me, you're probably messaging 20 other people every day on DMs that are asking you questions. Like, it really shows that the guys and ladies involved really care about supporting the community and everyone succeeding, right? I really pick that up all the time. And in the chats, trying to always draw out the people who aren't talking. I notice the coaches are always doing that. If there's extra time, hey, come on, somebody just throw a question at me. Anybody, if you haven't spoken up, speak up. It really reflects that you guys really give a damn. And I think that's really good.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you feel that way. We're on a mission to help as many people as possible achieve financial freedom and sovereignty through investing and developing a strong and healthy mindset, developing yourself as a business owner, or just helping you develop your skill sets too. That's what we're moving towards, is how do you improve your ability to generate income? How do you improve and align your mindset? And by way of doing those two things, that's going to give you the means to be a successful investor. And one thing that I'm always blown away by is the type of people that we attract to this community. Like you and I, we could have a conversation for hours and it would just fly by. This conversation's already flown by. But it's like time and time again, I meet people who are like-minded, who are in this for the same reasons, and who generally are committed to the path. So you're a testament to that. Thank you, Nick.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.